Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Thursday. I hope it finds you well out there. 800-951-0592 is the toll-free number. AllAmericanGold.com is the website, and so many things to talk about since we talked to you last. It's only 24 hours ago. Yesterday afternoon. So Wall Street got obliterated yesterday, down over 800 points. The bond market, we keep talking about this, had a terrible auction yesterday. It was a 20-year auction. And it did not go well at all. Reignited listen, it's coming. This isn't a maybe. This isn't scare you guys. This is just what's going to happen. And the decision is, what do you want to do about it, right? Now, thankfully, late last night, the Republicans were able to pass a big, beautiful bill that is going to be wildly expensive. They did it by having a few senators not vote. Or a few, they weren't senators, but few Republicans in the House just simply didn't cast a vote. I guess that was, hey, I'm not going to vote yes, but I won't vote no either. That thing. But, hey, it got done. Problem is now it goes to the Senate. It'll be all torn apart. But at least for today, there's a little bit of happiness that a bill got passed. Unfortunately, for the outside of the happiness, we'll see what happens with the Senate, right? This thing could be all torpedoed. But if we get what was passed yesterday or something worse, which is probably what's going to be worse, the deficits are going to go crazy. And I think the Trump administration, they know that. I think they know that. The question will be how much growth can they get out of it. So, by the way, the SALT number in this, which has kind of been the biggest piece of this, that was supposed to be the big savings, by the way, limiting people to only being able to deduct $10,000 in state and local taxes off their federal taxes. This bill had it at $40,000. So, yeah, it's pretty much hardly any savings at all now, and that was like $1 trillion of it, not to mention a whole bunch of other things that have had the bond market extremely upset. Before that occurred last night, the 10-year note was in the 4.6s. Like I said, a little relief, not much, 4.59, kind of where we were yesterday. Gold at one point early last night was approaching 3,400. It's down a little bit today, but it's not going to stay there. And again, I think that this is just more of, hey, woo, something, we got a big bill that essentially means everybody better get out. Seriously, this is what it means. We better get out of Wall Street. Forget about it. If you're going to buy something that requires interest rates, mortgages, auto loans, I'd probably do it sooner rather than later. Now, then again, when the Fed has to ride to the rescue, will it cap it? I don't know. I hope so. The number that keeps coming up over and over and over again is at 4.75 on a 10-year note. That's when you really got to start worrying. Wall Street will start hemorrhaging there. I don't know. That's what they're saying. By the way, this 20-year auction yesterday was only $19 billion, which is a fraction of what auctions. I mean, like a 2-year note auction is like $60 billion. Had a humongous tail. It was really the worst auction this year by far. Now the 20-year and the 30-year note are yielding over 5%. And I'm worried about the 10-year note getting higher than that. KXXT Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason on this Thursday. Let's take a quick look at the market. So the Dow's down 100 points here, 41,000 and change. Had a down, $800 or $900 day yesterday. Everybody's worried about the world's bond markets. The 30-year now over 5.1%. The 10-year note right now 4.594. So just below 460. It was above 460. It's going to go above 460. I don't know how it won't. I'm looking at Japan right now. Their 10-year note now 157, which is getting worse. It's going the wrong way. I expect to hear from the Bank of Japan in the next week about some form of control in their bond market. Like I said yesterday, the worst bond auction for the United States this year by far. I said, because it broke right near the end of the Half Empty Cup show, it was right next to disaster. We avoided disaster, but barely. And what is coming, I think everybody now is realizing, okay, in order to get this tax cut, to try to grow, it's going to cost a lot more than what they were hoping, right? Initially, remember, it's only going to add a little bit to the debt. That is gone, and I think everybody is extremely concerned about that. Right now, gold's down about $20. It's not going to stay here, but still right here, $32.95. Silver right below 33. The one thing that's a platinum, I keep telling you, I really like what platinum has been able to do. But guys, please get diversified here. Be smart. Be smart. If you got big IRAs, you need to take a big chunk of it and put it in gold and silver. You just do. It's the safest place to be. If you got money in your bank account, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you're doing. That's foolish. And I'm not talking about I got 10 grand in there. I mean, I'm talking the people that carry $100,000, $200,000 balances all because they like to, they think they're safe there. Makes them feel good. It's not safe there. Just telling you. It is not safe. Goldman Sachs today, in the aftermath of yesterday's auction, they're saying there's a sudden realization that the bond markets are actually begging for higher tariffs and more fiscal space. What does that mean? What it means is, gosh, at least with the tariffs, we had some revenue, right? We got a revenue problem. Well, a sharp revision of the big, beautiful bill has resulted in a credibility problem and much tighter fiscal policy. What does that mean? Well, it means the government has to find a way to get higher revenues. This is Goldman Sachs saying, listen, the only way we see it, we need higher taxes. Well, that's not going to happen, as we said, right? Listen, there was two plans. Both of them equally bad. Right? Let's see. We can do what Goldman says, which is probably the more fiscally responsible thing to do. Right? Hey, let's hit these guys with tariffs. Let's raise taxes. Right? Let's try to actually get the budget deficit to stop growing, or at least grow at a much lower pace. How much lower of a pace do we need? Like, we probably need a 50% reduction. So that's not going to happen. And of course, Goldman said if we did that, that would mean a recession, if not a depression. That is clearly what is not going to happen. Dollar devaluation to make U.S. Treasuries more attractive to foreign buyers. By the way, in parentheses, mostly Japan. Uh-oh. How is Japan going to bail itself out? Are they going to have to start selling Treasuries? You got to get the money from somewhere. I guess they can keep making it up. Who has traditionally stepped in to buy U.S. paper, but Goldman says they are now refusing to do so. Now, why are they refusing? We could argue, right? They're probably not. They weren't happy about the tariffs, but they got bigger problems, right? The bond vigilantes are in full force. They're saying that in looking at this, a breakout in yields is now problematic for equities. Remember Jamie Dimon a couple of days ago? You don't think he knew this was coming? But you think he was surprised? How about Citi's CEO? You think she was surprised? Bank of America CEO? Who was it? Deutsche Bank? You think they're not surprised? Remember 3 weeks ago? And I played you, Jeff Gunlatz, and I keep telling you this is the guy you need to pay attention to. What did he say? Guys, I don't know what we're doing. Oh, who do you guys think is going to buy all this debt? Everybody I talk to, and he goes, I mean everybody. Oh, say, oh yeah, yield's got to go way higher. Why? Well, because the best example, all you farmers out there, you guys know what I'm talking about. Man, when there's too much of anything out there, what happens to the price? Right? You got too much wheat, you got too much corn, you got too much of anything, the price tanks. And this is now what Goldman Sachs is talking about. We've got way too many dollars, and our solution is let's have even more of them at a pace that, let's face it, guys, this is craziness. Seriously, it's just, but I get it. Listen, the other plan was really, let's not kid ourselves. Goldman was right. The other plan is depression. Okay, so that was one choice, right? Cut spending, raise taxes, big tariffs, right? Do everything you can to try to get the deficit down. or you go the other way. So now what is Goldman saying? They're saying there is only two places that they see upside and big upside. Gold and crypto. Jason, what have we been talking about? I mean, we've been talking about gold. I've been talking about gold for 22 years. We keep telling you, wake up, pull your head. I'm sorry. Listen, I was late too. Okay? But the realities are the money's going to change. It's going to change real fast. You guys got no idea of what is coming. The bond, they're done. It's already done. They know it's done. We're going to try to grow out, which means a lot of money printing. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know. Is it going to be inflationary? Damn right it's going to be. Of course it's going to be. Get more gold, get more silver, call us, and get into Texas, because I'm going to tell you right now, you either get in or you get left behind. And Jason, the people that aren't smart enough to figure this out are going to get wiped out again. Listen, remember the financial crisis? Do I need to tell you, do you want to go through it again? You saw what happened. Maybe it was you that lost your house. Everybody, is there a person on the planet that doesn't know what? A handful of people that lost their houses? Handfuls. Heck, just on my street alone, and I lived on a cul-de-sac, they didn't have a lot of houses on it. 25% of the street lost their homes. Why? Because they didn't plan. They didn't want to believe what was coming. I mean, if you want to believe that this bond market's going to make it, go ahead. I don't care. That's on you, Jason. That's on them. I mean, we couldn't even sell $19 billion worth of 20-year paper yesterday. It was a total freaking disaster. And I mean, what's going to happen now, right? I guarantee you, the Treasury Secretary, Jaquint, they've called every country in the world saying, you better show up to the auction today or we're going to have a big problem.
Yeah, I find it interesting. Chris Lewis was with us and bringing up all the different Colorado laws, and he brings up this one it's worded all nice about, helping the consumer, but it's price fixing. And Chris and I were talking. It's like, look, they start doing this, the shelves are going to go empty. Because if a producer can't make the money, they won't ship it to where the prices are fixed. Started looking around. There's a lot of states putting this stuff in place. That's what Kamala Harris wanted to do. Don't think that if the government feels like they got to save the population from inflation, that the Trump administration won't do anything different. It'll be an executive order. Oh, we got to keep the prices down. Do we see tremendous inflation later this year? Do we see it next year? Do we see it the entire 4 years? And if so, price fixing will make it worse. You think the COVID empty shelves are bad? We could have, instead of having it happen overnight quick, we could have a slow grind of things just missing off the shelves. That's what the Depression was. The Depression was, hey, the fields were full of food and nobody was harvesting and bringing it to market because no one was going to do the work because nobody had any money to do what was, to fix the problem. These are money problems, right? These are money problems that are bubbling up all over the place.
Remember, remember what he said? Really exotic things are coming. Again, I'm not going to be surprised if Japan tries to put a cap on their treasuries. 800-951-0592. Gold coming back. Here we go. 3,300. I think gold's going to have a very big summer. I didn't think that Well, I mean, come on. It's having a big couple of years here, but a big summer. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not really yelling a lot. It's bad. It's just bad. And there's no good answer. No good answer. We did get existing home sales today. And I don't know if it could get any worse. They were hoping for an increase. This was an April number. April usually, kind of one of the good April, May, right? Home buying season. Disaster. Down again. They're now saying inventory's up 21% from a year ago. The most homes on the market since before COVID. Oh, we're back. Uh-oh. Remember before, there just wasn't any inventory. Prices still went up 1.8%. They say, here's the spin from the housing market. There's pent-up demand. And any meaningful decline in mortgage rates will help unleash this demand. Uh-oh. Not happening, guys. By the way, this is the worst April since the financial crisis. Are you kidding me? Going all the way back to April of 2009. This is how bad it was. And I don't want to exaggerate it, or how can you exaggerate it? People can't afford a home. I still remember Jay Powell. What was it, Jason? Maybe 2 months ago when he said, hey, there's going to be parts of the country where most people, you can't even afford to live there. Well, at least not own a home there, right? It'll be only rich people and cash only. Right.
He was saying that certain parts of the country, you're just not going to get insurance. Right? It's just no insurance. Insurance-free zones, good luck.
Good luck. Good luck. Listen, $20 gold. Still got it on sale, $34.75. It's not going to stay here. Just telling you. It's not. You better get in. Yesterday, remember we had the Silver Spectacular? The 10-ounce bars are gone. The 5-ounce bars are gone. By the way, Jason, I need your 5-ounce bars. I forgot to tell you that.
Yeah, okay. Give me set up on that.
Yeah, so there's about 71-ounce silver bars left at $35. That's and a couple rows of Silver Eagles. Otherwise, everything else is gone. Silver Eagles, $7.60. The 1-ounce silver bars, whatever's left, at $35 at 800-951-0592. And is it interesting? Probably not. Because this is what we've been telling you. There's only a couple places to go here. Gold is to keep the money you've already earned safe. That's what it's for. Keeps you whole. Go back to 2000. Let's go back to when I started work, okay, here at Patriot. Like 2003. Right? Gold was $300. But guess what? The median home price, I don't know, it was probably like $150, right? About $150,000. Fast forward to today, right? Gold's $3,300. Of course, the average price of a home now, what? $450. Well, according to Lawrence Young, $441. Right? This is what we're saying. Obviously, if you had bought a bunch of gold in 2003, you could sell it today and still buy your house and actually have some money left over. This is bad. And I know you're like, come on, Joe, the Dow's still 41,000. It's you got to remember, it's the setup before the crash. Wall Street doesn't crash first. It crashes last. That's just how it works. Remember what Jamie Dimon said. Don't want to believe Goldman Sachs? You don't want to believe me? You don't want to believe Jeff Gundlach? All right, how about Jamie Dimon? Want to believe him? What did he say about equity? He used the word, I can't believe how complacent everyone's being. You guys are morons. Everything is coming down. He said the whole entire S&P is going to have to restate profit projections, lower earnings, which means lower PEs, which means lower stock prices. You throw in a bond market scare, right? It's not good. How many more companies does this put out of business? You got to remember that all these companies got to borrow money. Not all of them, right? You got the Mag 7, but the rest, they got to borrow money. How many of them got debt that's getting ready to roll over that they've got to refinance? And look at what are they going to be able to refinance at? It's going to be a disaster. It really is. I'm scared. I really am. I hope you take care. I do. I do think that we have an opportunity for you to try to, like I said, gold's going to do great. But I'm thinking about, man, how are people going to be 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Who was it? Oh, it was Deutsche Bank late yesterday. They just did a Jason. They said, oh, by the way, the debt's going to go up double in the next 10 years. Literally, that's what they said.
Yeah, that's
I'm not kidding.
It's the truth. Nobody's listening.
Laughing, going, oh, my God, Jason just said that on the air yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to have $70-something trillion. We're going to hit $40 trillion next year. 800-951-0592. When we get back, I'm going to talk about Texit again. Why? Because there's only two places I think you're going to be able to do real well here. Only two. And I think Bitcoin's going to 250,000, maybe even 500,000 in the next 5 to 10 years. That's good. I think we got something that can do a lot better for you. We're going to talk about that next. Stay with us. 800-951-0592. That's to get your gold, your silver, and also get signed up for Texit. We've been talking a lot about this. This is a new play. There's risk here, right? No doubt. No doubt. This is kind of a reboot, a chance to get in at the early stages. You know, when Bitcoin first, by the way, I want to say today's the anniversary of the first use of Bitcoin as payment. A pizza place. I want to say Bitcoin was 2 cents. He took 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. Was the first time it was used. Kind of ironic. And back then, if you knew what it was or how it worked, you could get a server of some kind, put it in your house, and try to mint Bitcoin from your house, right? And anybody could do it. Of course, the rich guys figured out, hey, well, let's load up hundreds and hundreds of these things and dominate the markets. Texit decided, hey, that plan's okay. We like this one better. How about you can buy into the mine, but you don't have to mine it, right? You don't have to know what you're doing. You don't have to have servers in your house and pay the power bills and do all that stuff. And, what if it breaks? How do you fix it? You don't have to do any of that stuff. We'll do it for you. And it is caught on like wildfire. The amount of miners signing up every day, they're just killing records. A matter of fact, at some point by this time tomorrow, we'll be past minor 5,000. Remember, I was like minor 3,000. And this is, 3 weeks later. This is how fast, and it keeps going faster, right? The amount of people signing up every week because more and more and more. I was telling you yesterday, Bobby had reaffirmed on a phone call the $16 price target that they have set up for February. And there's a lot of math and logic behind it. And I want to give you an example of what we're talking about here. If you buy a 9-pack, okay, that's $8,955. At least for the next week, because it goes away, right? You're going to get 3 more hash. We call it share. I'll call it shares, hash, whatever you want to call it. You're going to get 1,200 hash for your $9,000. What does that give you? Well, right now, it gives you about 65 coins a day. Texit's at about, I don't know, somewhere between $1.10 and $1.20 right now. So let's just say $1 because it's easier. Okay, so you're getting $65 a day, every day. If you do nothing, you don't sign up a single person, you just say, nope, I'm just going to do what Joe said, throw the $9,000 at it, and forget about it. I'm going to go very, very low, okay? By the time the mine closes, because there only takes so many miners, right? You'll probably be down to about 40 coins a day, okay? 40 coins a day, 7 days a week. It's 280 coins a week. We've got 36 weeks, a little over 36 weeks till we get to February 1st. That would give you 10,080 coins. If they hit the $16 target, that is $161,000. Here's the thing. That's low. You'll probably actually have, 2,000 coins more than that, but let's go low. If you just signed up, maybe you signed up your wife or your husband and one of your kids. All of a sudden, that 40 coins is closer to 75 coins. They come in, they both do a 9-pack every day, 7 days a week, 36 weeks. That gives you almost 19,000 coins. It hits $16. That's 302,000. Not to mention, your wife and son are going to get about 161,000, and that's only if they don't sign somebody up. That's the kind of lick we're talking about. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Let me tell you, ever since they went out, they started at 2 cents. They have told everybody, this is what it's going to be this month, the next month, the month after that, the month after that, the month after that. They've been out now, I want to say it was a year ago, April. They've never missed a target. Remember, May's target was 74 cents. June's target was $1. We're already past $1. It's not even June. Jason, this is the kind of opportunity that we're talking about. And if this coin gets stability, and already in Texas has some interesting rules that kind of force a lot of different companies in Texas. They only can do American stuff. That's the one thing that's different about Texas than Bitcoin or any of these Ethereum, right? They're global. You can only mine this in the United States. And right now in Texas, they won't let it go anywhere else. That's a huge advantage. You can I can see this thing $100, $500, $1,000. You know, right? 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour again. $20 gold, 3475 at 800-951-0592. And now we're talking Texas. Listen, I get it. God, Joe, that's just too good to be true. Right? Of course that is. Right? That was my initial reaction. I think that's a lot of people's initial reaction when you hear something like that. It has to, it can't be. And then I tell everybody, God, the first Bitcoin. 2 pizzas, 10,000. But your calculator won't do that math. 10,000 times, when Bitcoin's like 108,000 or something like that, it won't do it. Not enough zeros. It absolutely is coming. Is the risk? Sure. Listen, at the end of the day, if it went to zero, I'm out my money. My wife's out her money. My kids, my brother, my whole family, nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles. I believe in Bobby. I believe in the plan. There's a huge bit mining convention in Vegas this Memorial weekend. My wife and I are going to be up there with Bobby. He's giving the keynote address, and Texas is going to be everywhere. Not that many people. The visibility here is just starting. This is where we are at right now. I think we're going to be up on another exchange. The new exchange, I may have already started, but we're going to be on Kraken and Coinbase this year. Very soon. We are signing up so many people, and a lot of people now are signing up people under them. We will do it for you. Simple, easy. We can do it over the phone. You can come in. We got meetings all day today, all with people either signing up or signing up people under them, because then you can get more coins. I've done the math for you. It's pretty simple. And the cool part is, listen, you can't spend $8,955. That's the max. That's it. That's all there is. I've had now half a dozen people up here. You get, the day you sign up, you get 30 days to upgrade if you want to do that. I will say this. We already told you, next week, starting June 1st, there is no bonuses for a 3-pack. A 6-pack, right now, you get 2 more hash. You get
I got an update.
Go ahead. Okay, do you?
The 6-pack bonus is going away.
Okay.
They're going to give you they're going to do a 5-pack and a 9-pack. The 5-pack gets you 1 more hash. The 9-pack gets you 2 more hash. So that was updated as of yesterday's meeting, Joe.
So there you go. So, like I said, the incentives, why are they giving you less incentive?
They don't need to give it out.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, they don't need to give it.
They don't need to give it out. 800-951-0592. Get your gold and silver. Get your signed up for Texit. You can do both at the same number. Listen, God bless everybody.